for my library job, I'd been working a lot on my artwork, more specifically, my books. I have one book finished, well, almost. I still have to look it over and make sure that it's written well, that the story is intact, and that it's as good as it can be. It's about 305 pages, so hopefully once I finish looking it over, it'll be ready to publish. Now, the book that I'm working on right now is a book that is set in the same fantasy world as the first book. The first book is called Marineman. It's about my dragon characters, the dragon anthros that you probably have seen animations of. Now, the one that I'm working on right now, Marineman, is about the underwater ocean society of that world. The world is called Lorestar, by the way, to make things simpler to understand. Anyway, yeah, I'm still working on the Marineman book while I'm waiting for so long to finally start my job at the library. If only things would open up soon. Now, a basic summary of my Marineman story is that, well, I guess I should start from the beginning. About 100 years ago, in the Quisteric Sea, the great clans, which are groups of warriors, elite warriors, that help protect the Quisteric Sea and keep it prosperous and stuff like that. It's not like they rule it. It's just that they're very powerful, and I guess you could say they have some positions of power, but not enough to be considered a king or a queen or anything like that. Anyway, 100 years ago, the great clans went to war. Now, what was it again? Oh yeah, the Stingray clan and the Venom clan went head-on against the Sea Star clan and the Marlin clan, while the Pearl clan hid away, trying to stay out of the conflict. Now, during this time, the merfolk of the Quisteric Sea got caught in the middle. Now, the clans are composed completely of a being known as Marinemen. Now, you probably have seen them in my animations before. Yeah. So basically, when the merfolk got caught in the battles between the clans, they suffered quite greatly because their strength wasn't as great as the Marinemen. So the Sea Star clan and the Marlin clan decided to share some of their clan's secrets with the merfolk to help protect themselves if any danger were to cross their paths. Merfolk are naturally peaceful, and they don't like fighting, so the Sea Star and Marlin clans try to do their best to help them protect themselves. Now, the Pearl clan warned the Sea Star and Marlin clans that that was a bad idea, but they didn't listen to them and continued to share their secrets. Now, finally, after such a long battling, the clans finally ended their battle peacefully. The Stingray clan and the Venom clan, the Sea Star clan, the Marlin clan, they all decided on peace and ended their battle without gaining or losing anything. Now, that was supposed to be a happy ending until something totally unexpected happened. A very large army of merfolk suddenly attacked the great clans and all other marine men in the Quisteric Ocean. These merfolk, who seemed to have known all of the combat and magic secrets of the Sea Star and Marlin clan, had the intent of taking over the entire Quisteric Sea and ruling over it like a true royal kingdom or something like that. Now, the great clans tried to fight the merfolk, but they were losing. However, one clan, the Pearl clan, wanted to stay out of it. Although the other clans pleaded for the Pearl clan to help them, the Pearl clan turned their backs, saying that this wouldn't have happened if they had listened to their warnings before and had never had that foolish war. So, instead of helping the other clans, the Pearl clan simply fled to the edge of the Quisteric Sea, going into isolation and paying no mind to the battle that occurred in the sea. But in the end, the great clans lost and had to go into hiding. And over time, these terrible, tyrannical merfolk formed the Lapis Kingdom and declared complete dominance over the marine men of the Quisteric Sea. Now, the marine men are treated by merfolk like inferior, lowly beings. Marine men have to constantly deal with the merfolk's harsh, abusive treatment towards them, and if that wasn't enough, they have to constantly pay taxes and pay tribute to the Lapis Kingdom. It's really harsh. The marine men became truly saddened and filled with despair as the merfolk dominated over them, sentencing them to harsh and horrible tyranny. And all this time the great clans were helplessly forced to remain in hiding, unable to do anything to stop the Lapis Kingdom. Well, 100 years later, now let's focus on the characters, the story itself. Now, it starts out with the main character, Giltom, a Marineman that had lost his memory. The furthest he could remember was being in the deep blue, which is the farthest, most eastern part of the Quisteric Sea. Now, you didn't know how he ended up this way, but he was basically bleeding to death in the sea. He was basically easy prey for any shark or other hungry fish that came across him. but he was saved by two Marinemen named Finross and Manali. They managed to patch him up and save his life, brought him to their home, which was a dry land cavern that could only be reached through an underwater tunnel. And it turns out, inside this cavern was a village, and the village belonged to the Pearl Clan. Now, when Giltom was saved, he found out that Finross and many other Marinemen, like warriors of the Pearl Clan and warriors that lived nearby, were starting to form a revolutionary army known as the Redeemers. The Redeemers have one goal: to conquer the Lapis Kingdom, drive away all the cold-hearted merfolk, and reclaim freedom for their race in the Quisteric Sea. No longer will the Marinemen suffer through the merfolk's tyranny and mistreatment. Finross, the leader of the Redeemers, stated that his ancestors of the Pearl Clan were all cowards, but he swore that now they will stop hiding. They will recruit the other clans when they find them and form an army strong and powerful enough to destroy the Lapis Kingdom, stop their rule of tyranny, and reclaim freedom for all the Marinemen of the sea. Now, Giltom, inspired by this, and with nowhere else to go, decides to join the Redeemers and becomes a very valuable ally. As he travels with his newfound friends and allies through the Quiseric Sea to find and recruit the lost and hiding great clans, he always does his best to do his part, feeling like he now has a purpose. But he still wishes to find out the secrets of his forgotten past, trying to find out who he truly is, where he came from, and most of all, if there's anyone out there who misses him or is worried about him, like his family or friends that he had forgotten. Yeah, he's on the adventure of a lifetime with all of his friends and allies, the Pearl Clan, the Redeemers, and of course his best friends, the Deep Blue Band, which is composed of the strongest of the Redeemers. Yeah. So that's basically a summary of my Marineman story that I'm working on. Yeah. Hopefully I will be able to someday share my stories with the world. And even more hopefully is that someday people will like my stories and characters so much that they'll make fan art of them. Yeah, that's my biggest dream, that people will love my characters and stories so much that they'll make fan art of them. That would be so cool. Well, besides my stories, I've also been trying to work out more to gain some strength, some muscle. do believe that with a little more training, I'll be able to be a little stronger and lift things up more easily. One of my biggest goals is being able to hold a watermelon without much trouble, because watermelon is my favorite food and they're really big and heavy. Yeah. I've also been trying to post more artwork on DeviantArt, artwork of my characters, and even some artwork of fan characters if I have time, but I really like to dedicate myself to my own stories and characters. But for now, I have written my daily chapter of my book, and now I'm taking a short break watching videos from Mr. Nightmare's channel. These Craigslist horror stories are really cool. I mean, I really like how they're not like overly terrifying. They're very realistic stories, and those are the best kind of horror stories out there. The ones that are as realistic as possible. I mean, I'm a fan of paranormal stories to an extent, as long as they're realistic enough, but I really prefer the most realistic, most believable kind of horror stories possible. Of course, there's far more to it than that. My favorite genre by far is the fantasy genre. I remember a few months ago, I watched all 3 movies from Lord of the Rings. I have them all on DVD. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. I really should play my video games more. It's just that I dedicate so much time to my characters and stories. I don't really have the time to dedicate myself to my video games as often as I used to. But I still play them as much as I can. They really are fantastic. I mean, one of my favorite games are the Spyro games. I mean, a game where I get to play as a dragon is just so much fun. The Legend of Spyro series was amazing. I can totally see why it has such a following and so many fan comics and fan characters on DeviantArt. Of course, my most favorite game of all time, which you can probably tell by this shirt, is Elder Scrolls Online. Yeah, that's the best game I've ever played. It really is. Just a wonderful fantasy genre game with all kinds of adventures to go on, and you get to customize your characters so incredibly, and you even get to design your own home. It's a lot like that old RPG I used to play, Wonderland Online, except Elder Scrolls Online is so much better in so many ways. It's because of games like that, as well as Skyrim, that make me hope that one day I'll be able to get a job with Bethesda Game Studios, like someone I knew from college. But for now, I'll be satisfied with my library job once it begins, that is. Yeah. Hopefully the pandemic will end soon so that everybody's lives can go back to normal. Yeah. I think I've jabbered on enough. Yeah. Hope you... I don't know, whatever.